This is going to be a reference to this comment here about my morning routine, and we're going to talk about my evening routine. And so some of y'all might know that I have like drastically shifted these things because I've been feeling very stuck and stagnant in life, and in order to grow we have to step outside of our comfort zone. And so we'll talk a little bit about my morning, like briefly, in case you didn't see the other one. So morning, I've been waking up at 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m. And I have been dunking my face in ice cold water like multiple times to regulate my central nervous system, because that's when your cortisol is the highest in the morning time. And so if you regulate first thing, you'll have a much more regulated day. I go on an hour walk. I do my journal scripting. I am listening to an affirmations tape that I made myself. I'm also doing a chi boosting qi gong exercise. I was trying to meditate in the morning, but that wasn't working out because I was so sleepy. And so we moved that to like later in the day. Also, not getting on social media. When I'm going on my walks, I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something to help my self-development, because as empaths and lightworkers, if we hop on our social media or check our email first thing in the day, people's energy are infused into these things, and so it shifts your energy field. When you're immersed in other people's energy field, you need to be in your own energy in the morning. Okay, here's my nighttime routine. And when I say routine, before I get into this, I am not good with routines because I am neurospicy, and so like it gets boring and stagnant, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this anymore after 3 days. I have decided, instead of a routine, these are non-negotiables. These are things that I am going to do every single day because they're for my spiritual, mental, physical, emotional health. And so non-negotiable. Like, I have to make a habit out of them, and habits are more difficult for neurospicy people because we actually have to, it's not something that's automatic. Like, we have to get ourselves to do them. But something that has been beneficial to me is I was spending too much time on social media in the evening times, which is not good before bed anyway because of the empaths thing, but it was doom scrolling. And so I said, well, I can't do that if I haven't done these other things, my non-negotiables. And by the time I do my non-negotiables, it's time for bed. I have to be in bed at 10 p.m. because I'm getting up at 4 a.m. So this is like getting me straight. Here's the nighttime routine. Okay, so I am meditating, whether that is 15, 30 minutes, just doing a internal journey to access my multidimensional higher self so I can reset and get some answers about my day or just things that are going on in my life. I am doing a gratitude list before bed. That's the last thing I do before I go to sleep, so that way I'm in that high vibration, high frequency. I also look at my list of goals in all different areas of my life. I did a wheel of life. So like, I have a goal for finances and a goal for travel and a goal for, just all these different things. And I put in my notes app, how am I going to work on 2 of these goals tomorrow? And what that is doing is priming my subconscious to be thinking about it while I'm sleeping. Also stretching for 10 minutes before bed, because that is getting cortisol out. And I'm making my cacao drinks before I go to bed, so those are prepped and ready for when I wake up. I listen to either my affirmation tape that I made for myself, or I listen to a different affirmation while I sleep, because that is when your subconscious is the most open to reception. So it is stretching, meditating, getting my cacao drinks together, putting my 2 goals to work on in my notes app, doing my gratitude list of like 10 things that I was grateful for during the day, and listening to affirmations as I'm falling asleep. And we getting in bed at 10 p.m. Last night was 10:30. But I don't have time to be doom scrolling and all that stuff because I'm doing my self-care and my self-love. And let me tell you, my days, it has only been 3 days of doing this, and it has made a huge, significant impact. And the last thing that I will say is, because it's me coming in as a multidimensional self and telling my mind that it is not at the wheel of consciousness. I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. I don't want to do that. I'm exhausted. Okay. But I'm like, hey, this is going to help us regulate our central nervous system and bring more clarity and focus and get that exercise that we need first thing in the day and get our energy right. I was like, let's get up. And it has made a huge difference. And also my self-limiting beliefs that come up throughout the day, because I'm like, we are vibing high from doing all of this, and these are non-negotiables, not necessarily rituals. These are things that we have to do every single day for our self-love and self-care journey. Let me know in the comments if you have a special morning routine or an evening routine. That would be really beneficial for everybody to hear, because maybe we can start to implement some other tools and resources in our tool bag.